I welcome you all for the online certification program on data visualization with Power BI and Tableau. For the last 5 days, we have covered the first business intelligence tool for data visualization using Power BI. From today, the next 5 days, we are going to work on the other competitor for Power BI, which is Tableau. It is another business analytics tool which provides data visualization. Myself, Dr. M. Venkatesh, Associate Professor and HOD, AIML, Aditya University. This is our course outline, and today we are going to work on Tableau workspace and how stories can be part of the Tableau. First, today's agenda is I will be introducing Tableau and then how Tableau workspace will look like for us, followed by how stories will be part of your Tableau and what information they are going to provide for us. Let's go. First, introduction to Tableau. Tableau is another powerful data visualization and business intelligence tool, which is designed to help the people see and understand what data is going to do and how the data is related. First of all, Power BI and Tableau are both business intelligence tools first, and then they are data visualization tools. Even though they are data visualization tools, they are designed for business intelligence. In the sense, when huge amount of data is coming for you, by seeing that particular data, the user cannot understand anything. But once they are converted into meaningful insights by using these visualization tools, and if things are put in graphical way, then by seeing that, users can easily see and understand what the data is going to do. This is what exactly the Tableau is. Next, the users can create a variety of and a wide range of interactive as well as shareable dashboards as well as reports. Why I'm calling this interactive is on the workspace, if we provide two different diagrams or two different charts, one chart is going to affect the other chart, which is nothing but interaction. Once you generated multiple things, if we put on a single page or on a single workspace, or we call sheet inside our Tableau, then it is called as a dashboard and it is shareable to the external people or within your team. And why we need to design these interactive dashboards and reports is they are used for data analytics using visual nature, which is called as visual analytics. On the right part, I've showed you one dashboard here. In this, you are containing multiple graphs. By seeing each graph, the people can understand what exactly the data is doing. At the same point of time, if one graph is changed, automatically it is responsible for changing the content that is part of the other graphs, which is nothing but called as interaction. Once this particular dashboard is designed or a single report is designed, this can be shared across the company or across the customers or across your team in order to know what exactly the meaningful insights that has been prepared. What is the Tableau actually? Already we have discussed what exactly the Tableau is. A Tableau is a business intelligence as well as a data visualization tool, which is used to simplify the job of a user. How it can be done is, it will take the raw data and it will be converted into a format which is very easy to interpret, in the sense to understand. It connects to a variety of data sources. Your Tableau or other visualization tools, what it can do is, it won't work with a single data source. It is going to work with a variety of formats of data sources. Your data sources can be an Excel file or normal text file or a CSV file, or it can be a database, or it can be a data warehouse, or it can be a data mart or whatnot. You can even get the live data as well. Now, when the Tableau is connected to a variety of data sources, it also used to analyze, visualize, as well as share some meaningful insights from that particular data. This is what it can do. This is what exactly the Tableau is. In the diagram, clearly I'm showing you your Tableau is responsible for data exploration, visualization and reporting, integration and blending, which is nothing but called as transformation. And that's nothing but connecting two or more tables and having a relationship between them and finding the performance and monitoring that particular performance. How you can collaborate and share with others so that the team members can collaborate and improvise the things. And finally, even you can perform predictive analytics. These are all the different things what you can perform as part of Tableau, and this is why Tableau is used. Next, we go for the key features of Tableau. As part of the key features of Tableau is concerned, first thing is it will be having interactive dashboard. As already I'm speaking on this, once a dashboard is designed, the dashboard will not be an output of a single graph, but we'll be having a group of outputs will be there. A group of reports will be there. When one report is changed, it is going to affect the other report due to the interactive nature between the two graphs or two reports, which is by default embedded into these data visualization tools. Now, these interactive dashboards is one of the key feature for your Tableau. Next comes to data connection and integration. How data will be connected, how data will be integrated. The thing is, the data can be connected to your Tableau in different formats. We can load that particular data into your into your data visualization tool, which is nothing but Tableau. Once the data is loaded, the data may come from a single data source or multiple data sources at a certain point of time. Now the challenge is how we can integrate all these. The Tableau internally will be having the mechanism for data cleaning and followed by integration. Hence, by connecting the data sources, then you can integrate them and you can show the relationships between them. Next, we go for drag and drop interface. Like Power BI, the Tableau also will be having a data visualization area from where you can drag and drop your charts and you can drag and drop your dimensions, your measures onto the working area, and you can place them and you can see the relationship and you can generate the reports. So everything is drag and drop in this particular Tableau. When and where required, we will be writing expressions as well. Hence, it is a drag and drop interface. Next comes powerful visual analytics. Right from small application to any complex application, you can perform using your Tableau such that any complex visual report can be generated as part of this Tableau is concerned. And internally, we can perform analytics as well. It's nothing but powerful visual analytics is allowed. They are related to predictive analytics. Next comes data blending and transformation. Whatever the data that we receive from different data sources might not be the correct data or finalized data, which is to be loaded into your Tableau directly, and we cannot perform operations or analytics on it. Even we perform, it may not give a correct report. It might not generate the correct report. So that what we need to do is we need to perform some pre-processing in order to make your data ready for analytics, which is nothing but called as data blending and transformation. Next, we go for collaboration and sharing. Like whenever you're trying to generate a report, that report can be shared to your colleagues in your team or other team members, and you can collaborate among yourself and you can finalize the report. Or if you want to have any updations in that particular report, you can do it. So collaboration among the team by sharing that particular report, which is nothing but called as collaboration and sharing. Next comes mobile compatibility. When a report is generated based on a desktop version, that can be shared onto the mobile view as well, so that on the mobile you can have the compatibility when once the things are generated using your desktop version as well. They will be auto adjusted. Next comes advanced analytics integration. As part of this, sometimes we need to perform some statistical analysis in order to predict what exactly is going to happen in the future, how business is going to grow or fall in future. So for that, we'll be making use of the statistical analysis, which is part of advanced analytics integration. Next comes to data security and governance. When once the data is taken and put it into Tableau, your Tableau is secured. It is having the security features in such a way that to whom or with whom you need to collaborate or to whom you need to share, you can manage the things so that your data will be secured and governed. Next, we go for extensive community support. As part of Tableau, we are having a lot of people working on it, and whoever are working, they are adding some updations to our Tableau so that it is having extensive community support so that the features will be upgraded from day to day and up to date. So these are all the different key features as part of the Tableau is concerned. Out of these, few things we will be discussing in detail. When we go for the data connectivity, as already told you, your Tableau is responsible for taking the data from multiple sources, like it may be a simple Excel or a CSV file, or it can be from SQL Server, which is nothing but structured data, and it can come from the Google Sheets, or even it can get the data from the cloud, or you can connect to the web directly and get the live data as well. And next, drag and drop interface. It's responsible for creating any complex visualizations by simply dragging and dropping your data fields. Next comes interactive dashboards. These dashboards will be allowing the user to interact with the data by using filters when and where required, which amount of data to be shown, and next drill down, like how much data we need to show at a certain point of time, and finally the real-time updates, how the data is going to change over the time. Next, we go for advanced analytics. In this, as I told you, we'll be having some statistical functions, and they will be integrated by using your Python or R so that your Tableau is integrated with advanced analytic features. Next, we go with collaboration and sharing. Whenever you are having reports to be generated, that reports can be generated. Once generated, we can share that particular visualizations via Tableau server or Tableau public, or it can be a Tableau online. These are all the different types of Tableaus available that we will be seeing shortly. And why we are doing this is nothing but in order to have the collaboration between your team or compared whenever we are attaching with other teams as well. Mobile compatibility, as already told you, the desktop Tableau reports can be automatically optimized into your mobile devices. Next, I go with types of Tableau products. As part of the types of Tableau products are concerned, we will be having Tableau desktop, Tableau server, online, prep, and public. These are the 5 different types which are mainly important. We are having other flavors as well. Let's go into these 5 and how they are useful in each case. When we go for Tableau desktop, it is used to generate reports and dashboards. It's simple thing we can download and we can install onto your machine and we can work with it. We can work with the data sources and simply you can generate reports as well as the dashboards. Tableau server. Why Tableau server is, it will allow the users to publish and share the dashboards with others. Whatever the Tableau reports and dashboards that you are generating from the Tableau desktop, it can be sent to your server so that the server is responsible for publishing it and sharing with your teammates in an organization. Next, we go for Tableau Online. It's just a cloud-based online version of your Tableau. It's same like your Tableau server, but it's the one thing which will be present as part of the online. That's the only difference. Next one is Tableau Prep. This Tableau Prep is responsible for blending and transformation, which will be helping in cleaning, shaping your data, and transforming the data before performing analytics. The data analysis is performed as part of this particular step is concerned. Next, we go for Tableau Public. It's a free version with limited functionalities, and it is primarily for public data sharing. By default, a limited number of statistical analysis can be performed as part of this Tableau Public. Since it is a free version, it will be having a limited features. Next, we go for the benefits of Tableau. As part of the benefits are concerned, it's user friendly. In what way is no coding is required in order to create complex visualizations. Simply what you can do is you can drag and drop, that itself will be doing the job for you. So complex code is not required. A simple one-line measures we can write, which is responsible for performing the operations for you. Next comes a real-time analysis. This Tableau also supports a real-time analytics, providing the meaningful and immediate insights, how data is present and how meaningful it is. Next, we go for powerful visuals. Here, we can generate different types of visuals, like pie charts can be generated, bar charts can be generated, scatter plot can be generated, tables can be generated, whatnot. We are having a wide variety of visualizations that can be performed as part of this powerful visuals is concerned. Even you can work with maps and heat maps as well. We'll see what exactly the difference between maps and heat maps when we go for the practical. And finally, the customization. The dashboards are customizable for different audience, for different use cases. According to the requirement, you can customize your dashboard. And another good benefit is you can collaborate and you can share it, and advanced analysis are present, and we can integrate from multiple data sources, whatnot. All these things will, all the key features will become the benefits of your Tableau again. Next, we go for what you can do with this Tableau. What are all the common use cases, or in which area, what type of applications that you can perform using your Tableau? You can perform business intelligence and reporting, and you can have sales and revenue analysis of your company. You can have financial reporting and forecasting, supply chain management, customer segmentation and market analysis, or you can work with your health, you can work with your stock markets, whatnot, anything. You are having the applications that can be performed on any type of area or on any type of domain if once the data is available. Next, we go for Tableau architecture and components. Before going to this architecture and components, I'm taking a 5-minute break. You try to recollect whatever we have discussed. Once that is done, we'll be going for the architecture and components, and they'll be seeing how this can be done. Now we are going for Tableau architecture and components. We are working with the Tableau architecture and components. As part of any tool or any type of component, first we will be having the architecture, and the architecture internally will be having many number of components which are responsible for performing the operations. Now, as part of the Tableau architecture is concerned, we are having 3 layers here. In the first layer, what you will be having is a list of data sources. See, these are all the list of data sources. We will be having Excel, normal notepad. We having different databases related to different vendors, and even they can be raw format as well. So these are all the different types of data sources available for us. Then from this particular data sources, the data is sent to your data warehouse, which is available as part of your Tableau desktop. Here you're having something like Tableau server. This Tableau server internally will be having one Tableau works, a desktop sort of environment in which you will be having the data warehouses. Into this particular data warehouse, we can send the data from the single source or a group of data sources or a variety of data sources. Once the data is moved into this data warehouse, then your Tableau desktop can perform operations, and finally it can generate reports. Before sending the data from data source to the data warehouse, if required, we are responsible for transformation of data. Okay, here the transformation can be performed, some data analysis can be performed, and extraction can be performed. Now the thing is, this Tableau desktop can publish its reports to cloud, and it can be shared to the external users. Here inside the Tableau server, along with the Tableau desktop, you also will be having much more number of components like security, which is responsible for taking care of the security mechanism, cache, which is responsible for storing the recently accessed data and recently accessed sort of information. The repository is where exactly your complete data which comes from the data source will be stored, and the presenter is responsible for presenting a report or presenting and sharing, and it can also interact with users and clients, which is nothing but collaboration as well. So these many number of things can be performed by this presenter. And management or automation is responsible for managing your data, and also it is responsible for automatically updating after a certain period of time. So these are the jobs which are going to be performed by different components that are part of your Tableau server. And once the reports are generated or the dashboard is generated, it can be given to the Tableau reader, which is nothing but your workbook, where it can be shared with the external users. At the same point of time, it can be published in any of the format so that the static readers drill down or filtering will not be possible as part of this static readers is considered. The output will be given as a final report. It will not be allowed to collaborate or make changes in future. And it can be shared with users or clients. Either it can be shared as a web component or it can be shared as a mobile report. Here, some set of people will be working on it or will be seeing it, which is nothing but called as mass consumption. Now we will be seeing how these things are happening as part of the Tableau architecture is concerned. See, whenever the data comes from different data sources, it's nothing but called as some user data, which is nothing but, in this example, I'm taking it as customer data. Here I'm putting into data warehouse or data mart or file or queue. It can be of any format, any storage device. Here we're having data connectors. If you are working with data warehouse, we'll be making use of data engines. If you are using data marts or files, there will be using SQL connector. And when we are using cubes, we are going something like some MDX connectors. And MDX is nothing but metadata extracted connector. And here we're having a repository where the repository is nothing but where all this particular data is going to be get stored. Then we're having the main components like data server, SQL server, and application server. The data server is responsible for how analysis or other parts can be performed on the data and storing this particular data. SQL server is responsible for performing query operations and generating the visuals, and application server is responsible for working with these two. It will be acting as a layer between these two. And you're having gateway, which is nothing but gateway or load balancer, is completely responsible for acting as an interface. It will be acting as an interface, like when once the report is getting generated, how this report, to whom I need to share, either to a desktop or for a mobile user or for a browser, or it needs to collaborate with other people by placing into the cloud, etc. This is same as like we have seen in your Power BI. Next, we go for how internally these things are interconnected to each other. See, whatever the data source it might be, it is connected to data source drivers, which is called as data driver. Then from this data, it will be given to the backgrounder, where it is responsible for performing pre-processing and then giving to the data engine, where you will be having the warehouse to store that particular data. And this one can be given to the data server, and the data server is responsible for generating the or loading your data. And once the data server loads the data, it is responsible for transformation and performing analytics. And finally, your SQL server is responsible for visualization, generating your visualizations. And your app server is responsible for taking the data from the repository and giving it to the gateway. In all the cases, it will be given to the gateway. And gateway is completely responsible for giving the report to a single user or onto a desktop or onto a mobile screen, or it should be placed onto a cloud so that it can be shared, which will be allowing the collaboration with your team. And you are having this already, we have seen how different architecture will be there. But the only thing is nothing but inside this, we are dividing into a 3-tier architecture. First one is user tier. User tier is nothing but finally, after performing the analysis and visualizing and converted into the visualizations using your different servers like data server, SQL server, and application server, it will be given to the gateway, and the gateway is responsible for giving it back to the user to visualize the things finally, the reports that are get generated. Your storage tier is completely responsible for storing your data, which is nothing but your repository. And the management tier is nothing but this is where you will be having backgrounder, coordination service, as well as some controllers related to your cluster. That's nothing but how the data will be transformed or pre-processed or cleaned based on the data that is coming in. Okay, so these are all the different internal things, like how your data is divided, how your architecture is divided into tiers in between. And next, we are having how we can start with our Tableau right now. Getting started with your Tableau. See, first, you need to download your Tableau and you need to install it. And let me tell you, your Tableau is not a free version. It's a commercial version. It will come with a 30-day trial period. And if it is an online version, it will come up with 2-week trial period. When once it is downloaded and installed, it just look like other data visualization tools only. So let's see how to work with this particular Tableau. What are all the different steps that will be done inside this? First, you download Tableau desktop and install it by going to the official website tableau.in. Next, go for connection to data. How we can connect to data is open your Tableau. There you will be having an option, load the data from different formats. So you can go to any format and you can load your data. That is what you can do. And you can connect to a variety of data sources like CSV, Excel, or databases, or cloud for getting the real-time data. Whatnot. To anything you can connect it. Next thing is nothing but prepare data. As part of the preparation of data is concerned, we are having variety of things. Like first thing is data. Tableau prep must be used. It is responsible for taking your data and performing the pre-processing. Like if there are any missing values, it will be either discarded or it will be filled by using several pre-processing techniques. Cleaning can be performed. You can reshape your data. That means the number of dimensions required that you can do it. And finally, you can reorganize your data. And inside this prep data, you having Tableau desktop, which is responsible for filtering your data, splitting your data, pivoting, which is nothing but writing your expressions, or creating some calculated fields. From existing fields, we will be calculating new fields, which are nothing but called as measures. And already existing fields can be called as dimensions, which already we have discussed. And ensure the data ready for your visualization as well as analytics process. So these are all the different things what you will be preparing, what you will be performing in the step called prepare your data for performing analysis. You need to clean, then you need to make any sort of operations, and then finally visualize that particular data. Okay, you need to ensure that your data is ready for it. Next, create your first visualization. So now you can have the Tableau environment. Onto that particular environment, you drag and drop your fields like as we have done in the other data visualization tool into the rows and columns. There you call like x-axis and y-axis. Here we will be calling it as rows and calls. Your rows will be like your x and your calls will be just like your y. And it will create simple visualizations like your charts or graphs, etc. Then finally, based on these several visualizations, you can prepare a single dashboard by placing all these particular reports. And one report is going to talk with other report, which is called as interaction between the reports. This is nothing but combining your visualizations and forming a dashboard. While forming this, we can add filters, we can have interactivity among them. And finally, once the dashboard is generated, you can publish it and you can share with your team, which is part of your organization through your Tableau server or Tableau online. What are the basic building blocks in Tableau? So we will be having data source, fields, worksheets, calculated fields, filters, dashboard, parameters, groups and sets, actions, and finally maps and geographic visualizations. These are all the different things what we will be containing as part of the basic building blocks in Tableau. As part of this, the first thing is data source. Data source is nothing but your simple database, or it can be an Excel sheet like your spreadsheet, or it can be a cloud-based source, or it may be the data which is coming from your IoT-based components. It's nothing but variety of data repositories can be there. Next, we go for fields. In your Tableau, you will be having mainly two types of fields. One is nothing but dimensions, another thing is nothing but measures. The dimensions will be dealing with categorical data, like if you take location, location will vary from one location to another location. You can have product, one product will be separated from another product. So like this, the categorical data can be there, and you will be having measures. Measures are simply your numerical data. For example, the sum of amount that is generated by selling 100 number of products. That's nothing but will become a measure. Just like we have seen in our other data visualization too. We used to create new measures, right? Likewise, the measures are nothing but the summation of n number of things or counting of number of things. This will be always a numerical data. And we will be using these fields like your dimension and measures will be used in order to build your visualization and perform calculations as well. Next comes something like visual worksheets. When we go for worksheet, in other visualization tool, we have called it as a canvas. Here, this is a canvas where exactly we can create individual visualization like your charts, graphs, maps, etc. Each one is called as a worksheet. Next, we go for calculated fields. Calculated fields are nothing but the fields are which is generated from your dimensions and measures that are part of your data source which is already existing. Next, we go for filters. Filters are nothing but the controllers which is used to control what part of data must be included in your visualization. Next, we go for dashboard. Dashboard is nothing but a collection of multiple worksheets, visualizations, image, text, table, or any part of things. That's like n number of objects organized in a single worksheet or in a single canvas is nothing but your dashboard. Next comes something like parameters. These parameters are nothing but the dynamic values that users can input or select in order to have the control over your certain aspects that is part of the visualization is concerned. For example, if I'm projecting the age related information, I can add a filter like I need to get only the employees which are in between the age of 20 to 25. So there you can apply the filters, or you can use something like you need to get the top n number of employees who are taking the highest salary in your company or having the highest experience as part of your company. There you can use your parameters there. Next, you can go for groups and sets. This is related to data grouping and segmentation. How data can be grouped together, or a segment of people can be taken from huge amount of employees. Groups will be allowing us to combine related data points into a single component or into a single category, where your sets is nothing but a custom subset, and they will be grouped based on a specific condition or a specific logic. These things we will be seeing when we are going to perform our real-time example. Then going for actions. These actions are responsible for enabling the interactivity between two different graphs which are presented as part of a dashboard. In this, when we click on a specific report, how this report is going to affect another report. This is nothing but action here. Next comes to map and geographic visualizations. So here, if you want to have some geographical related, a graphs related sort of thing, we will be making use of this maps and all. For example, in US, in a city called Washington, how many sales has been performed, or how the temperature is there at that particular location. If you want to get such sort of information, we will be going for maps, which is nothing but part of your geographic visualization is concerned. So this is how we can discuss as part of the basic building blocks in your Tableau is concerned. Then we'll be looking after how your Tableau user interface will be. As part of this Tableau user interface is concerned, this is how the first and foremost thing will be available. Nowadays, in the newer versions, this might not be looked for you. This is nothing but one of the graphs which is being generated. You can open any graph directly. So nowadays, this is being a blank page. Okay, and here you're having connect pane. The connect pane is responsible for connecting your tool to one of the data source. Either it can be an Excel, or it can be a normal text file, or it can be a CSV file, or it can be any other data source. It can be any other data source. Okay, and next, this is nothing but open pane, where you will be opened with your workspace. And here you are having discover pane. The discover pane will be giving the information related to how you can start your Tableau. It's just like your help menu. Okay, so this is how it will be there. Next, once we load one of the data set and from a variety of data store among any one of the data source, and then we step into this particular Tableau workspace, this is how exactly your workspace will look like. On the top bar, you will be having a menu bar in which you will be having some set of menus. Upon selection of each menu, your toolbar icon will be changing. These toolbar icons will not be same for all the menus. According to the requirement, each menu will be having its own toolbar icons, and they are responsible for performing our operations with ease. Here, you are having two things like data and analytics. As part of the data, you will be responsible for storing your data set, in which you will be having two fields which are nothing but your dimensions, and next one is nothing but your measures. Dimensions are responsible for having your categorical data, and your measures will be having the numerical data. And your dimensions will be in blue in color and your measures will be in green in color. In order to differentiate easily between dimension and your measures, that is how the Tableau has been given. As part of the other data visualization tool in your what we call our Power BI, these dimensions and your measures will be collectively present. They will be organized in alphabetical order. We can identify by the measure by its symbol only in your Power BI. But your Tableau has completely divided your dimensions from your measures. These measures can be written based on these dimensions. We will be writing some formula on these dimensions where your measure will be generated. And here you will be having sets and parameters. This we will talk it at a later point of time. And these dimensions, measures, and these sets and parameters, these are called as, each one is called as a shelf. Each one is called as a shelf, where it will be containing dimensions and measures and etc. And here we are having other shelves like pages, filters, and marks. Inside these shelves, we are having cards, and in each card you will be having some tiles here. This color is a tile, size is a tile, text is a tile, etc. Okay, this is how things will be organized. First, you must be comfortable with the environment. When once we are comfortable with the environment, then we can see what to write, how to write, where to write, how each things will be responsible for generating the one another. And here you are having column and rows here, where columns will be called as the y-axis and your rows will be called as the x-axis. Like these are vertical and these are horizontal. Okay, and this is where your actual workspace, which is nothing but called as sheet in your Tableau, which is called as a canvas in other data visualization tools. Okay, here you can add as many sheets you require. You can add as many sheets as you require by clicking on this particular part. And this particular part is called as adding your story. Adding your story. That we will talk at a later point of time. Then see, this is called as a data source. This is called as a dimensions. These are called measures, sets, parameters. This is your data source tab. And this is your data tab. And this is your analytics tab. And these things are called as shelves. Exactly, these things will be called as files actually. Okay, here he showed your pages, filters, and marks as a shelves, but these are all not the shelves. These are called as tiles. And you're having some lizards, which are responsible for giving the better insight as part of your visualization is concerned. And here you're having other sort of things. Here you're having show me, which is responsible for showing your visualization. Okay, and whatever the things that we are throwing on to your columns and rows, they can also be called as pills. And this is nothing but your status bar, which is responsible for showing what type of operation that you are going to perform. As already I told you, these dimensions, which are discrete fields, they are categorical. They are categorical in nature, and they will be in blue color. These measures, these are continuous fields, which are numerics, and they will be green in color. Okay. Columns and rows, which are nothing but where you will be dragging and dropping your dimensions and your measures so that these visualizations can be generated. And here you're having show me button, which is responsible for showing which type of visualization that you can select. Okay, for chart selection here. And these are all your sheets where you can perform your tasks. Okay, these are all about your data visualization and how this particular Tableau user interface will be available. Now, let me take a quick 5-minute break. You please recollect whatever we have discussed right now. And when we come back, we will be opening our Tableau interface and we will be seeing all these things. And we will try to perform one example. We'll try to do one example and we will try to see how stories will be. And then we will be going with a short quiz. This is our plan for today. We will be having a simple example or a story and followed by quiz for today. The quiz is completely for the 5 days, whatever we have spent on our other data visualization tool, which is nothing but Power BI. And then we will be going for end of the session. Thank you. Just give me a 5-minute break. Okay, welcome you all back. Let me open Tableau here. See, I'm just after installation, double click on Tableau. This is how your work environment will be. As already I told you, you are having Connect, you are having Open Pane, and you are having other pane here, which is nothing but from where it will be acting as your help pane. Now, as part of the Connect pane, it's very clear here you are having connected to a file, either it's Excel or text file or JSON file or Access file or any other file. Okay, so these are the different types of files where you can connect and access. Even you can connect to a server so that it can have more number of options as well. Hope everyone is clear with this. Hope everyone is clear with this particular environment. Now, just I'll be going to click on Microsoft Excel since I'm having one data set which is downloaded. Already I've shared you all. Just try to load that particular Excel sheet into your Tableau workspace. Okay, that is what I'm trying to do it. Here, I'm clicking on Microsoft Excel and go to an Excel file which is downloaded, sample superstore. Okay, this is the one. And if you want to rename it, you can rename it to your convenience. Absolutely, there will be no problem. I'm just trying to open it. When I say open, see here, we have got 3 tables. It is showing us 3 sheets, which is nothing but we are containing orders, people, and returns. They are loaded into your data source. Now, I'm renaming it as, if you want, you can rename it. Okay, leave it, no problem. Now here I am taking orders onto my working area in order to create a data model. Why we need to create a data model? In order to have the relationship between 2 different tables. So I am putting it here. So the orders has been present on my working area. Immediately see here, you have got what is there as part of that particular table. So what are the fields that are part of that particular table? And also try to understand, by default, your Tableau is going to load the first 100 rows. See here, it is showing you 100. So if you put 200, it will be loading the first 200 rows. If you load first 5 rows, it will be loading only first 5 rows. Okay, so the first 100 rows has been loaded here. See, I'm showing you the top 100 has been presented here. Now the thing is, what I will try to do is I will load returns as well here. See, when I bring returns here, by default, your Tableau is responsible for setting up a relation between these two. Whenever you are loading your tables onto your working area, by default, it will be loading with the relation. This is nothing but called as data modeling. Data modeling, the meaning of data modeling is what type of relation that you are establishing between the different tables that is part of your data source. Now, see, when I place onto this, when I click onto this, I'm getting the orders information. When I click on to returns, the returns table information, you are getting it here. And when I click on this particular relation, it will be showing like in orders, you are having a field called order ID. And in returns also, you are having an order ID. Based on these 2 particular fields, you are having the connection establishment here. So orders ID will be the primary key and your returns order ID will be your foreign key. That is how you are establishing the connection between the 2 different fields here. Okay, so this is nothing but your data source area. Now you are having, see here, you are having sheet 1, which is nothing but called as your worksheet. Click on this particular worksheet. When we click on this particular worksheet, this is where your data pane will be available, your analytics pane will be available. Your data pane will be containing your data sources, that is your tables, and from which particular data source it is get loaded. And see here, you are containing tables here, which is nothing but you are containing orders table, you are containing returns table, which already I told you. Okay, now here, when we go for orders, see, everyone watch clearly. You are having one section here and other section here. These 2 sections are separated by a horizontal line. These 2 are separated by a horizontal line. The content which are above the horizontal line will be called as dimensions, and the content which is part of after this horizontal line are called as measures. And the content which are present as part of your dimensions is concerned, they will be having the data type. They will be having the data type. See, category is of string or simply called as text. And your city, country, these are related to some global, which is nothing but geographic related. And again, customer ID is a string. And this is how the things will be available as part of you. And one more thing what you can identify is for your measures, we will be having a hash symbol that indicates it's a measure. And one more thing, your dimensions will be in blue in color and your measures will be in green in color. Okay. And these measures will be the one which is generated field from your dimensions. That is what you need to understand. Okay. Now for a specific product ID, if you want to know how many sales has been done for a particular product, how many sales has been done. So simply what you can do is product name, you put it onto columns and you can add sales onto your roles. See how easily the graph is get generated here. By default, it will be taking a bar chart. If you want to change the visualization, you can change it. Absolutely, there is no problem. Okay, but based on the thing that you are generating, see, based on the data that you are going to use, your graph will be automatically selected and others will be get disabled. It will not allow you to take unnecessary sort of information. Okay, so this is what you can do it actually. Okay, now the thing is, let us put it aside. Now let me tell you, these are columns, these are rows. Already we have discussed all these things, and these are all nothing but shelves. And in the mark shelf, you will be containing something like tiles here. And if you want to change the color of these particular things, you can change it from here. Simply, if you give it like this, the color will be automatically changed. You don't need to suffer much. It will be very easier. Okay, even if you want to add the labels to it, you can add the labels and what type of text you want to put it, you can put it here. Show market tables. See, for this product, these many number of sales has been done. That is how easily you can generate the things. Okay, now these are all nothing but called as the graphs that can be used, and these are all nothing but your fields, which are nothing but two types of fields. One is dimension, and other thing is nothing but measures. And these are all nothing but shelves where you can use your filters or you can pages, etc. And here you will be having analytics tab where you can perform some type of analysis like average, median, mode, and you can even have something like clustering can be performed, classification can be performed, such type of analysis can be performed here. Right? So these are all the different things. So first, I am making you people understand how this particular Tableau workspace will be available or the environment will be available. Tomorrow, we will be playing with this charts and graphs with some other relationships. On Monday, tomorrow will be holiday. Monday, we will be having the class again. In that, we will be playing with different charts and graphs and with your data set. And finally, I'll show you one thing. Here you are having a thing called story. See, this is your story. Okay, here you are having something we have done there, right? That sheet, we can add it here. We can drag and drop that particular sheet here. This is first thing. So let's take something like sum of sales. Right? This is how you can do it. And you can write a story name. The name of this particular story is like sum of sales per product or something like that. Okay. I'll be doing this and say apply. Automatically that will come and sit here. And as part of this, if you want to duplicate it, you can duplicate it. See, you have got two things. Or if you are having another one more sheet which is created here, for example, think like this, another sheet I'm setting up here, and same thing, I'm copying it and pasting it here. Yeah, same thing I will do. And I will take it as the product name here. Okay, let it be this thing. Now I'll be taking something like question 1 and I'll put this as question 2. Okay, so let it be here. Now I'm going to my story and 2 questions has been added here. Okay, now if I create another blank story, see the third one has been added here. Now add this Q2 onto this. So this is having something. Let us take something like sum of sales 1. Right? I'm changing the name here. I'm changing the name here. Now go to layout. Here, first I have used the caption boxes and I asked you to show the arrows. So when I click on this, see it is changing from story to story here. If you put numbers, you can have 1, 2, 3, and you can load first story, you can load second story, you can load third story. Even if you can have dots format, you can have something like this. You can move from one story to another story like this. If only arrows is required, you can put it like this. So in which particular story you are there, it will be showing for us. The story is nothing but it's like a storyboard where each particular board will be having a specific chart is done. And one among the other, line by line, if you want to show, you can show it. Even if you want to change the background, you can change it. If you want to change the font, you can change it. Whatnot, anything can be done. Anything can be done. Okay, this is all about the discussion of your Tableau workspace. Okay, this is how it will be available as part of your what we say the Tableau interface. Tomorrow on Monday, we will be working with many examples like some 5 to 10 examples we will be working. We will be trying to generate different types of graphs. We will be working with different types of fields and we will be playing with it. Okay, so this is all about some Tableau environment. And this is all about how stories can be included as part of it. Okay, again, I will generate these stories on the last day where our dashboard is getting generated. The dashboards versus story we will be discussing again there. Let me take a quick 2 to 3 minutes break, and by 7:45 we will be having our test. Okay, you can connect to the test and you can take that particular test. Okay, I welcome you all once again. See, these are the bits whatever we are presenting here. Everyone please try to answer. Everyone try to please answer these bits. Whatever the tests that we are organizing these days, like we have already completed 2 quizzes and this is third one. From tomorrow on, from Monday onwards, every day quiz will be conducted. We want to make you comfortable with one environment, that is Kahoot. We will try to keep the quiz on that only, because the final quiz will be on that environment itself. Okay, for today we are presenting. Just try to answer your bits. And let me tell you, 70% of the questions for the final examination will come from the test, whatever we are asking. Okay, so that if you are daily doing these things, you can easily clear that final test. Yeah, going for it. The first question. What is the primary purpose of data visualization? What is the primary purpose of data visualization? Is it to store large amount of data? To create complex algorithms? To represent data in a graphical format and make it easier to understand? Or to increase data redundancy? Hope everyone have answered. Put it in the chart window. You can put the answers in the chart window. Put it the answers in the chart window. Are you having Q&A? In that also you can put on. Okay, the answer is third one. To represent data in a graphical format to make it easier to understand. Not to store large amount of data, not to create complex algorithms, not to increase your redundancy. Second question. Which type of chart is best suited for showing trends over time in Power BI? Already we have worked with it. Already we have worked how the trends can be shown over time. How to show the company growth over time. Either it is pie chart or bar chart, line chart or scatter plot. The answer will be C. That is your line chart. We have already seen yesterday how the company is growing over the time. How many number of employees are coming into the company. That's line chart. Next, we are going for a third question. What feature in Power BI allows users to create custom columns using a formula language? What feature in Power BI allows the users to create custom calculations using a formula language? What it is? Is it Power Query? Is it data analysis expressions? Power Pivot? Power View? Power Query is the one which is used for transforming your data, adding a column, etc. Your DAX, which is responsible for writing the complex expressions. That is your custom calculations can be done using your DAX. That is where your new measures can be added. Your Power Pivot will be using this DAX. Power Pivot will be internally using this DAX. So DAX is the answer. Power View is responsible for just viewing purpose. Okay, answer is B. Next, we are going for fourth question. What functionality allows users to click on data point in a report and view detailed data related to that point? What is that called? Either it is drill through, data merging, slicing, data export. So it's clear from this question itself. It is drill through, which is nothing but whenever we put on a point, it is going to generate the detailed report. Already I have shown yesterday. That is nothing but drill through. Next, in Power BI, which feature allows users to interactively filter data displayed in reports? In Power BI, which feature allows the users to interactively filter the data displayed in the reports? Already we have seen that concept. We are going to add your slicers, and in the slicer, whenever an option is selected, dynamically in the interactive, we are going to change the data. So that is your slicers. Next question. What is the purpose of your Power BI dashboards? What is the purpose of your Power BI dashboards? To create complex calculations? No. To provide a consolidated view of multiple rewards? It is one of the options. It is used to store raw data? No. It is used to clean and transform data? No. So Power Query is going to do the cleaning. Your data model is responsible for storing your raw data, and calculations will be done using DAX. So the answer is multiple reports can be generated in your Power BI dashboards. So answer is B. Then what is the primary purpose of Power BI service? What is the primary purpose of Power BI service? To create and edit Power BI desktop reports? We can share and after you can edit, but creation is not the thing. Then to store raw data files? Might not be no. Why? Because data files will be stored in the data source. Next one is to publish, share, and collaborate on reports and dashboards online. Might be this is one of the answer. To manage data connections? Obviously no. So the answer is you can publish, you can share, and you can collaborate on the reports and dashboards online. This is the job of the Power BI service. Next, we are going for the 8th question. Which component of Power BI is specifically designed for data modeling and creating a relationship between data tables? Is it Power Query? Is it Power BI Desktop? Is it Power Pivot? Or it is Power View? See, let me tell you, Power Query can change the data, that's all. Power BI Desktop is responsible for doing some type of visualization related reports. Power View is responsible for just viewing purpose. So data modeling and creating the relationships between them can be done by using your Power Pivot, Power Pivot. Okay. So your data modeling can be done inside your Power Pivot. Next question. Which visualization type is best suited for comparing parts of a whole in Power BI? Which visualization type is best suited for comparing parts of a whole in Power BI? We don't want to compare all, we need to compare parts. So line chart, no, it's nothing but period over time. Bar chart, no, it is nothing but give something like the whole information. Pie chart might be the good idea. Why? Because if you want to show only males, part of it you can show it. When you click on female, only female related information can be shown. So part is nothing but wherever that part comes, something like you can have like pie chart. Scatter plot is nothing but like how company employees are scattered with salaries, with experience, with such sort of thing, you can go for the scatter plot. Then, what feature in Power BI allows users to easily create visualizations by dragging and dropping fields? What feature in Power BI allows users to easily create visualizations by dragging and dropping fields? Is it data model, report canvas, data visualization pane, and dashboard view? Which is one? As clearly it is specifying, for creating visualizations, it is related to data visualization pane only. Next, which of the following visualization is most appropriate for displaying trends over time? Already we discussed. It's your line chart. Next, to create a visualization that displays the relationship between two numerical variables, which chart should you use? It is between two numerical variables. Okay, if one is categorical, if one is numerical, we will be going for bar or other sort of things. If it is between two numerical variables, for example, experience, salary, both are numerical parts. Okay, such sort of thing to which we need to go. We need to go for the scatter plot. Scatter plot will be the good idea. What is the purpose of the format pane in Power BI when creating charts? We have seen normal visualization, and by the side of it, we are having format. What is the purpose of it? To import data? No. To set up data connections? Not at all. To customize the appearance and settings of visualizations? This might be one. To publish reports? Obviously not. So C is your best answer. Next question. What is a data model in Power BI? A collection of raw data files? No, it is nothing but not the data model which will do. It is data source where you will do it. A visual representation of data relationships. This is where your relationships will come into act. A structured collection of data including tables and relationships. This is what we have seen, right? In the table view, you will be responsible for generating your data model. So C is your answer. C is your answer. Okay, next. The final question for the day. Which of the following is used to define relationships between tables in a Power BI data model? Which of the following is used to define relationships between tables in a Power BI data model? Relationships between tables. It's not related to data profiling, not data transformation. You're not changing it. Query editor, you're not writing any queries. So obviously the answer will be relationship view. That is where the relationships between tables will be presented. Okay, that's all for today. This is all for today. We have come to the end of the session. So what I want to tell you finally is you take these tests regularly from Monday on. The 4 days it will be helping you to write your final test. And everyone, please be ready with your Tableau environment. We will be playing with the data set we will be drawing many scenarios as part of the dataset is concerned. And if any dataset change, I will be sharing the dataset once again. Thank you. Happy weekend.